Seems like a lot of you guys don't really care.
ノクトって呼んで。
So move out the way. Where's your twin?
くだらない。
This is stupid. If he says it's stupid, I agree. We're back again to play some games. We're back with Ikemen Prince, and last time we found out that we were brought here, we were kidnapped, to become the next Belle, and I guess that means I get to pick the next king. So before we start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social media. It's all in the description below, and we can get started.
あなたにはこの中から時代の王を選んでいただきます。
Okay, I get to pick the next king. Are you serious? You want me to choose the king? I have enough trouble choosing what to eat for breakfast. All other thoughts went clear out my head as the enormity of what cereal, that is not his name, cereal, was suggesting hit me. But why me? I mean, this is a decision that affects every single person in Rhodolite. Who am I to decide that?
それは俺も聞きたいね。決め手は何だったんだ、サリエル。
You are just big-bodied. You are big. But your head's kind of small. But you are big-bodied. You work out? I'm curious to know the answer to that myself. What was the deciding factor for you, Cereal? That's not his
彼女
name.
の平手打ちです。
The way she slaps. The way... That's a crazy sentence, Cereal.
そうきたか。
Y'all are weird. How does he even know how I slap? I didn't even hit him. I hit the drunk guy. I'm never gonna live that down. Hang on. But that means... So you were at the festival as well, Cereal? That's not his name, I'm sorry. I can't get his name. Siri... It's like, okay, Ariel. Cereal. Cereal. But I want to say cereal so bad because it's so easy to say that.
ご明察です。ベル候補を探すため、町を物色していたのですが。
I see you are insightful too. Not really. Yes, I've been searching the town for someone suitable to be the next Belle.
シュバリエ様に代わって、即座に不届き者に手を下すその手腕、惚れ惚れしましたよ。
I didn't really do nothing. All I did was protect the little kid. When I saw the brilliant way you handled that scoundrel in place of Prince Chevalier, why, I was charmed on the spot. You do realize I did that out of desperation, right?
必死になった時ほど、人間の本性はむき出しになるものです。
The more desperate a person is, the more they expose the truth of who they are. Yeah.
優れた状況判断能力と決断力、そして不届き者だからと見捨てなかったあなたの公平で美しい心。
You sure do talk a lot. Your superb judgment, your decisiveness, your refusal to give up on even a scoundrel all showed your impartiality and your beautiful heart.
まさしくベルの称号を授けるのにふさわしい逸材です。
There's no doubt that you're an exceptional person, more than worthy of the title of Belle. Well, why didn't you just come to me and say all this? I would have happily went with you. I know you're complimenting me here, but the more satisfied Cereal sounded, the more uneasy I felt.
私の目に留まったことを末代まで誇りに思いなさい。
You caught my attention. You should always take pride in that fact. Well, I'll fight you. Look, I'm really grateful you think so highly of me, but that doesn't mean I'm qualified to choose.
断ったら
Get out my face.
サリエル泣いちゃうんじゃない？
You do realize if you turn Serial down, he might start crying.
それは見てみたい気もするが、時間がないのは確かだな。
You got a long waist. I kinda like to see that, but we also don't have much time. Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
国王陛下がぽっくり言った以上、早急に新国王を決める必要があるだろう。
Okay, I choose Leon. Game over. Leon. There we go. I'm done. Can I go home? It means we really need to be quick about choosing the new king, since the last king just up and died on us. Wait, are you saying the king of Rhodoli is dead?
クラビス様、一応国民には秘匿している情報ですが。
Prince Cletus. Prince Clavis. That information is meant to be kept a secret from the people.
おっと、うっかりしてたな。泣いてもいいぞ。
Oopsie. How careless of me. You can still go ahead and cry if you want. I'm not. Oh, talking to you. Did you really just humph? I didn't think anyone could get the better of you. Maybe I should take a lesson from Clavis.
字が出てしまいました。
Yeah, forget all y'all names. I can't say it. I suppose the truth has been revealed then. I don't really care. I choose Leon. Why would you hide that from the people of Rhodolite? That's a really big deal, and they deserve to know. Cyril's smile had a bitter edge to it, but after a moment he let out a soft, resigned sigh. Obsidian, Benetoite, Rhodolite, Jade. These are all gems, these are all... Obsidian is like a dark, black-colored jewel? Or is it a rock? I don't remember. He gestured to the wall behind me, and I turned to it to find it covered with a large map.
ロードライト王国は三国に囲まれた小国です。
The kingdom of Rhodolite is a small nation, surrounded by 3 other nations.
同盟国のベニトアイト、中立国のジェイドとは比較的良好な関係を築けていますが、
Say it again?
同盟国のベニトアイト、中立国のジェイドとは比較的良好な関係を築けていますが、
Benetoite is our ally. The Jade remains neutral, but we have worked to build relatively good relationship with both.
大国オブシディアンだけは虎視眈々とロードライト王国の領土を狙っています。
So we don't mess with Obsidian. That place sounds cool though. However, Obsidian is a powerful nation, and they desire Rhodolite for their own. They keep a very close eye on us.
そのことについてはご存知ですね。
I assume none of this is news to you. No, not really.
国の体制が安定しないうちに国王の逝去が広まれば混乱に乗じて攻め込まれる可能性があります。
If news of His Majesty's death spreads while the regime is so unstable, they may take advantage of the confusion and invade. Oh.
実際に国王陛下がご病気になられた際は、どこからか情報を嗅ぎつけたオブシディアンが国境に侵攻し、
In fact, when His Majesty first fell ill, they caught wind of that information from somewhere and invaded our borders. A spy? There's a spy.
我が国の王
Serial?
子たちが自ら戦場に赴き、これを退けるという事態が発生しました。
This resulted in our kingdom's own princes having to head into battle themselves to repel the invasion.
この意味がわかりますね。
Yeah, I get it. It's so obvious now that I'm surprised I didn't see right away. But I was now the only commoner in Rhodolite who knew the truth, and the weight of the knowledge felt almost too heavy to bear. I won't tell anyone that. I won't tell anyone that His Majesty has passed away.
それだけでは足りませんね。私の欲しい言葉は もう一つあります。
What? That alone is not sufficient. There's one more thing I want you to say. What? Look, Serial.
クラビス様もおっしゃった通り、我が国は早急に新国王を決める必要があります。
Leon. As Prince Clavis mentioned, we must choose a new king urgently.
あなたの存在は今やもう国の存亡に関わっているのです。
Your fate is already tied to the fate of the kingdom.
ベルを引き受けてくださいますね。
You will accept the role of Belle, will you not? Look, I get what you're saying, I really do. But I think I need more time to go.
ではレオン様、シュバリエ様、彼女をベルとして承認される場合は挙手を。
He didn't care. He doesn't care about me at all. Very well. Prince Leon, Prince Chevalier, if you will recognize her as Belle, please raise your hand. Hey, I wasn't even finished talking. And I sure as heck didn't say yes. He don't care. But before I could say another word, Chevalier's hand lifted into the air.
早いね、王様。
That was quick, King Highness.
名手のくせにそんな適当でいいのかよ。
Your voice sounds familiar. I like you, Luke. You know, actually, you're wearing a couple cute stuff. You have the bear, but it could be... I feel like there's a little bear or sheep on the back of your sword, or on your sword thing. I like you. You're our leader, though. Should you really be agreeing like that?
誰がベルになろうと俺には関係ないからな。
I don't care who becomes Belle. It's irrelevant to me. Wait, he's your leader? But I thought...
彼らはレオン様とシュバリエ様を中心に二大派閥に分かれています。
The princes are divided into two factions. One centered around Prince Leon, the other centered around Prince Chevalier.
内政を重んじるレオン様派と外政を重んじるシュバリエ様派といったところでしょうか。
One could say Prince Leon's faction favors domestic politics, while Prince Chevalier factions favor foreign politics. I don't know a lot about this stuff, but okay, so Leon likes to focus on stuff within the kingdom, probably the well-being of the citizens. And Chevalier wants to expand, maybe, into different territories, make deals with other nations, probably stuff like that.
各王子たちの総意は二極化しているため、レオン様とシュバリエ様に決議を委ねることが多いのです。
The prince's options generally converge along these two opposing viewpoints, so they often entrust the final votes to their leaders. Yeah, I like Leon better. His outfit's way better. Well, I guess that makes sense. Wow. I'm learning a lot about what goes on in the royal palace. Hey, where's my friend at? Anyway, I forgot his name. Where's my friend at? I feel like I should be taking notes or... Wait, what am I thinking? This isn't the time for that. I'd gotten caught up in the conversation, forgetting the very important matter that Cyril was trying to decide without my input.
レオン様、いかがですか？
Prince Leon, what do you think? All eyes in the room turned expectantly towards Leon, and then his amber golden eyes met mine, as bright as sunshine. What you think, boy?
お前の意思を聞かせろ。
Oh, he wants to know what I think. Lauren, I want to know your thoughts. The only person who cares, I swear. Well, I'm glad someone finally asked me. The words came out in a huff, but Leon only continued to meet my gaze calmly, and it was clear he hadn't taken offense. It felt like he was looking at me, the person, and that he was the only one there who was. That made me stop and think.
次期国王を見極める力がお前にはあると思う。
I think you have the capability to decide who the next king will be. What makes you so sure of that? I'm nobody special. I'm just a commoner.
歴代のベルはみんな庶民だ。
Every single Belle throughout history has been a commoner. Okay, but I still don't see what makes me stand out.
だいたいなんでベル制度なんてものがあると思う？
Do you know why we have this tradition? Why we let Belle decide for us? No, not really. Leon gave a small nod, as if appreciating my honesty. Then he grinned at me.
じゃあ俺たち王家の人間が巷でなんて言われてるかは知ってるか？
Okay then. Do you know how the common people refer to the royal family? As the royal family? It feels awkward saying it to your faces, but they call you noble beast, right?
ああ、はるか昔権力闘争に明け暮れた王族たちの非道さを野獣と評した民たちが。
Right. In the olden days, the royal family did nothing but fight amongst themselves for power. The people considered them as cruel as beasts.
以降、王家の血筋を引く者たちのことを高貴な野獣と呼ぶようになった。
Ever since then, anyone with royal blood has been called a noble beast, by the people of Rhodolite. When I was a kid, and I first heard that nickname, I used to lie awake at night, wondering if they were all covered with fur. But you're not beast anymore, are you? That's all in the past, right?
いや、ここにいる奴らはみんな私利私欲を持った獣だ。
Not really. Everyone here is a beast who possesses the desire to act on their own selfish interest.
野心や理想のために人を食い殺す。なんてことも平気でしちまうかもな。
We devour others for the sake of our own ambition and our ideals, and we do it without batting an eyelid. I'm really, really hoping you mean devour figuratively and not literally. I want to laugh it off, but I remember how I felt when I first walked in, and 8 predators had turned their gaze on me.
事実、俺たち王子は戦場で敵をほふる姿を野獣って呼ばれたこともある。
And it's also true that we've all been called beasts for the way we slaughter enemies on the battlefield.
お前の前ではまだお利口さんにしてるけどな。
Never mind that we're still in our best behavior with you for now. For now. But you're right. I don't know any of you. Every one of you could be hiding a beast inside you. I mean, when we first met.
だから俺たちにはベルが必要だ。
I'm a beast too. That's why we need Belle.
国民の中でも特に美しい心を持った者を規範とすることで獣から人になるためにな。
I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm not your therapist. Do that by yourself. We need someone with an unusually beautiful heart to show beasts like us how to become human beings. I ain't doing that. That sounds like a therapist. Get a professional. I'm a librarian. I can give you some books on it. What's that one book? What's that book about those boys who get stuck on the island? I didn't read it because I think they took it out my year. The boys that get stuck on the island and then they have to, they have to live together, but they ended up fighting against each other. What's it called? Lord of the Flies. There you go. Pretty sure there's a moral lesson at the end of the day about being human and not killing your friends. Anyway, I'm a librarian. I can give you some books that help you with your empathy But that's about it. I will not be teaching you guys how to become human.
それに獣じゃなく人を王に選べるのは清く正しい心を持った人間だけだろう。
My heart is not pure, trust me. Besides, who else but someone with a pure and righteous heart is going to choose a person to be king and not a beast? Okay, I get what you're saying. You're probably right, but I'm still struggling to see how I'm that person.
おや、
I'm not.
私の目を疑うというのですか？
Yes. Goodness me. Are you saying that you doubt my judgment? Yes, sir. I don't like you. Hey, don't put words in my mouth.
ですよね。あなたは清く正しく美しい心を持ったベルですよ。私の言葉は絶対です。
You see, you are Belle, a commoner with a pure, righteous, beautiful heart. My words are final. My words are final. Every conversation with you is like hitting my head up against a brick wall.
あとはお前次第だな。
Well, I
本
wanna
当
go
に嫌なら
home.
俺が跳ねのけてやってもいいが。
Like, I want to go home, but I also want to get to know you, Luke, and I didn't look up his name. Lit. Something like that. Because he, besides you, Leon, honestly, he might be good look. He might be even more handsome than you. Anyway, you three are the best. What comes next is up to you. If you really don't like the idea, you can turn us down, but
お前物語が好きだって
I do.
言ってたよな。
I do. You said you love books, right? Yeah, I did. But what does that have to do with it? A sudden grin lit up Leon's face at my words, and he looked almost triumphant somehow.
王を選ぶなんてそこらの本よりよっぽど面白そうな物語だと思わないか？
Don't you think choosing the next king is going to be more exciting than any book you've read? I mean, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie, I spent the last few hours feeling like I'm in some sort of fairy tale, but
しかもお前が主役の話だ。こんなチャンスそうそうあるもんじゃねえよな。
and this time, you get to be the star of the story. How often does a chance like this come along? I mean, he's got a point, it's pretty exciting. But I wouldn't compare it to one of my books. But damn, you're good at this. You're actually making it sound tempting, especially with that gleam in your eyes. Ever since I was little, I've been wishing for something exciting to happen to me, just like it did to the characters in my books. But I've been starting to wonder if I was just clinging to childhood fantasies. Everyone around me had changed, grown up, settled down, and it was like I was the only one still dreaming of wilder things. But try as I might, I could never stop dreaming. I've been waiting and hoping for something to come along and change my life. And now that's here, all I've done is doubt myself and question everything. I let the pain overshadow the excitement. And I know I can't be half-hearted about this. If I do this, I have to commit to it fully, no matter what happens, but will I ever forgive myself if I walk away from this? What if this is the destiny I've been waiting for my whole life?
どうする？
What do you want to do, Lauren? What if this is the thing that will change my life forever? Suddenly my mind was made up, and I straightened my shoulders, opened my mouth before I lost my courage again. I want to be Belle. My voice trembled a little, but with excitement. And the second I finished speaking, Leon raised his hand to the air.
では、決まりですね。
Then it settled. Chevalier instantly stood up from his chair and turned towards the door.
もう行くのか？
Leaving already?
用事は終わった。
My business here is done with. Where are you about to go?
ベルに媚びを売っといた方が いいんじゃないか。
Don't you think you should at least try and woo Belle a little first?
時間の無駄だ。
Don't even try it. Don't he already put a sword to my neck over some books. He doesn't have a chance. Not with me. Not with me. It would be a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time too.
ベルが誰を選ぼうとも、俺が王になる未来は変わらない。
And what you gonna do? Kill the person I choose? It doesn't matter who Belle chooses. It will not change the fact that I will be the future king. You what? Chevalier's gaze was like ice as it swept around the room, and I shivered as it settled on me. I ain't scared.
貴様が邪魔になれば始末する。そのつもりでいろ。
But I ain't scared of you. Leon's right here. If you get in my way, I will deal with you. Keep that in mind. Alright. But I hadn't forgotten the feel of his blade against my chin, and I muttered the word under my breath. Forget you, weirdo. If anyone in this room meets the definition of beast, it's you. I pressed my lips together, watching him leave, and then Clavis moved to follow, pausing to pat me don't touch me, pausing to pat me lightly on the shoulder.
うちのシュバが悪いな。
Sorry about our chef.
まあ、俺は王座に興味はないが、愉快なことが好きで
I
ね。
don't care about you. Keep it moving.
お
Keep it
前の
moving.
生き様で楽しませて
Keep
くれ。
it pushing. Keep it pushing.
小娘。
And I got zero interest in the throne. But I like things that amuse me. So make sure you keep me entertained, young lady. No, sir. Keep it moving. I'm not interested in you either. I mean, I'm not interested in you at all. His smile was vivid and captivating, and he put me on my guard all the same. And I watched warily until both of them had left.
まったく、あの二人にはしつけが足りないようですね。
Cyril sighed as he spoke, and I glanced over at him. Then I noticed a lazy hand lifting into the air just past him.
ねえ、サリエル、質問。
Hey, Cyril, a question.
どうぞ、ノクト様。
Go ahead, Prince Nakato.
ベルが国王を選ぶってことは、ぶっちゃけその子口説き落としたやつが王になるってことだよね。
You don't have a chance either. If Belle's choosing the king, that basically means that whoever wins her heart gets to be king, right?
明けすけに言えばそうなります。
If you must put it so bluntly, then yes. Nagato turned to me at once, his full lips curving upwards in a sultry smile, the look in his eyes predatory in a different way. Keep it pushing. I don't want you either.
じゃあ、たらし込むから、よろしくね。
Well then, it'd be my pleasure to seduce you. You've got to be kidding me. Thanks, but no thanks.
理解がお早いですね、ノクト様。
You do catch on quick, Prince Nokoto.
ああ、もう聞いてられない。
Eve, just go to your room, take a nap or something. You've been cranky this whole time. Ugh, I can't listen to another word of this.
たらし込むなんて。ノクト、君は王子としての誇りと自覚が足りないんじゃない？
Seduce her? Seriously? Nokoto, do you have any pride or even self-awareness of your position as a prince?
そう思うなら、イブちゃんは手出さないでよ。
If that's how you feel, do me a favor and don't make moves on her.
どうして俺が君の言うことを聞かなくちゃいけないわけ？
And why should I have to listen to anything you have to say? I was still grappling with the enormity of what I agreed to, and it seemed surreal to hear them talk about it so flippantly.
なんだ。結局イブもたらし込む気になったの
Golly,
か。
you're just big.
忙しいやつだな、お前さんは。
What's that, Eve? You're interested in seducing her after all? You're always so...
こんな庶民でも一応ベルだからね。王座は俺にこそふさわしいって認めさせる必要がある。
She may be a commoner, but she's still Belle. I need her to recognize that there's no one more suited to the throne than I am. Nah, because you kind of childish. I can tell. I don't want a kid on the throne. There are plenty of other ways to do that besides seducing me, like talking to me, getting on my good side, like talking to me normally, getting on my good side, being my friend. I would totally make my best friend the king. No, I wouldn't.
おう、至極まっとうな意見だな。
Yes, yes, you're quite right. There's something about you. I don't know what. Every time you come on screen, it's just something about you. I don't know what it is. Yes, yes, you're quite right. Totally agree.
つーか、そろそろやめてやれよ。
Just
そいつ
big-bodied.
困ってんだろ。
Look, could you all stop already? You're making her uncomfortable. I'll say thank you. Thank you, Luke. Oh, you know who hasn't talked? The twin. Nakato's twin. You know, the cute one. Luke stood up from his chair, and the others fell silent as he turned to face me.
なんかあったら頼ってくれていいかな。
It was Lauren, right? You have any problems, you can come see me, yeah? Thank you very much, Prince Luke.
それやめろ。ルークでいいし、敬語もいらね
Don't do that. Just call me Luke. And no need to get all polite. But
え。レオンのことも呼び捨てだっただろ。俺も様って呼ばれんの好きじゃね
you called Leon by his name, right? I don't really like the whole prince thing. You are fine, Luke. Well, okay then. Look at this. Golly.
ちょっと、結局君もたらし込んでるじゃないか。
That is not seducing, Eve. That's us becoming friends. Hang on. Aren't you seducing her too now?
違う違う。ルークは天然たらしの素質があるだけだ。
Was he flirting with me?
お
No.
前さんたちも
No, he wasn't.
せいぜい頑張りなさい。
That wasn't flirting. Did I fall for that? Nah, that can't be flirting. Or am I that oblivious? Nah, not our Luke. He's just a natural flirt, that's all. But the rest of you ought to put your hearts into it too. Jin pulled a lollipop out. Can I have one? Jin pulled out a lollipop out of his pocket and popped it into his mouth with a grin.
ジン、お前は他人事か？
Jin, make it sound like it has nothing to do with you.
ああ、王座なんてもんはクソほどどうでもいいからな。
It doesn't. I couldn't give a crap about the throne. Wow, I wasn't expecting that from our prince.
俺はどうでもよくない。
Seems like a lot of you guys don't really care.
印にノクトって呼んでね。
So move out the way. Where's your twin? I want your brother. Where is he? Well, I could. So as a sign of how closely we'll soon be acquainted, you can just call me Nokoto.
俺は許さないよ。ちゃんと様付けすること。
Whatever you say, kid. I don't approve of any of this. Make sure you call me your highness.
ま、堅苦しい言い方は好きじゃない。お前さんの好きなように呼んでくれ。
I'm not a fan of formal language. You can call me whatever you like. Well, thanks all of you. So, Nokoto, Eve, and Jin it is.
ちょっと、人の話聞いてた？
Hey, did you even listen to what I said?
くだらない。
Okay. This is stupid. If he says it's stupid, I agree. Wait, you've been so quiet I almost forgotten you were here. But it was the first thing. Lich? I had to look up his name. Has said since he introduced himself. And I blinked as he stood up abruptly from his chair.
リヒト、いつもそう突き放すようなことを言わないの。友達いなくなるよ。
Say it again?
リヒト、いつもそう突き放すようなことを言わないの。友達いなくなるよ。
I can't hear it.
リヒト、いつもそう突き放すようなことを言わないの。
元からいない。
Oops.
必要もない。
Lit. I'm gonna call him Lit for right now until I look it up. Lit. You don't have to be so cold all the time. You'll end up with no friends, you know. I never had any to begin with. And I don't need them.
またそうやってすぐ一人になろうとするんだから。
There you go again. So determined to rush off all by yourself and
あ、ちょっとリヒト、どこ行くの？
Lit. I can't hear it. Wait, where are you going?
部屋に戻る。
Back to my room.
リヒト、王座に興味ないの？
Are you interested in the throne?
答えるまでもない。
That's not even worth answering. Golly, you were so fine. Anyway, he avoided everyone's gaze. His eyes remained downcast as he slipped quietly out of the room. I think I'm gonna have trouble getting to know the real Lit. I'm gonna call him Lit right now.
まったく、あの子は。
You seem to really care about him. Really, that boy. Did you guys grow up together? Like close? So some of you really want to be king, and some of you aren't interested at all.
俺たちは全員異母兄弟とはいえ、思想も何も違うからな。
We may be brothers, but we all have different mothers. And we're all very, very different ourselves. I can tell. So what about you then? Do you or don't you want to be king? I turned to meet the golden amber gaze head on, and he rewarded me with a smile that was more regal than I was expecting.
俺が王になれる器の男か。お前のその目でちゃんと見極めろよ。
You do. You will be king. If I'm the one choosing. I want you to decide whether on your own I've got what it takes to be king. Okay. I studied him, my thoughts whirling, and then the sound of hands clapping briskly together cut through the room.
ご歓談中申し訳ありませんが、
Where's my friend at? Where's
彼女
Rio
に案
at?
内したい場所がありま
That's
すの
his
で、
name.
これにてお開きにしましょう。
I apologize for interrupting your pleasant chat, but I still need to show Belle around, so perhaps we could call it a day. Hey, where my boy at? Cyril led me out the room, and soon we entered another grand room, even more opulent than any I've seen so far. This must be the throne room, right? Where the king holds audiences with his people? I thought I felt out of place when I first entered the palace, but being on the throne room is just unbelievable. Plush red carpet ran down the center of the room, leading all the way to the lavish throne that sat at the far end. Hey, I want to break it so bad. Let me break that. Next to the throne was a pedestal, and on top it sat a single rose, sealed away inside a glass dome. I will definitely break that. What's the rose for?
代々国王陛下が崩御された際には、バラを用意することになっています。
It is tradition for a single rose to be prepared when His Majesty the King passes away.
あれがすべて散るまでに、時代の王を決めなくてはいけないというルールなんですよ。
And it is tradition that the next king must be chosen by the time the last petal falls. Well, we got a lot of time. So I have a time limit?
ええ。あのバラは特別な品種でして、 およそ1ヶ月は咲き続けます。
That's correct. The rose is of a unique variety, and it will continue to bloom for approximately 1 month. I only have a month to figure out which prince deserves the throne. You do realize that there's 8 princes, right? But I kept quiet as I followed Serial into the room until he stopped just before the throne and turned to face me again.
その他、ベル制度に関する規約事項は、すべてこちらの誓約書に記載しております。
All other matters related to the position of Belle are recorded in this covenant. Cyril snapped his fingers, and several servants appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Do they just follow you around, waiting for you to do that? I watched in disbelief as they placed a table in front of me, piling it high with pages, scrawled with impossibly tiny text. What is that, French? Please tell me you don't expect me to read all of this right now.
分かりきったことをお聞きになるんですね。
I'm surprised to hear you state the obvious, as if it were a question. You can't be... Damn, you really are serious, aren't you?
こちらすべてに目を通したら、誓約書にサインをお願いいたします。
The heck out of this article, this papers. I will skim. Is there any spark notes? Is there any spark notes for this paper? Once you have read the covenant in its entirety, please sign your name here. I feel like I'm about to sign my soul away to the devil here.
必要なこと
Wouldn't be
で
the
すから。
first time I did that. My name is Lauren.
サインをいただきましたら、あなたをお部屋に案内しますね。
I need a lawyer present when I do this. Can I get a lawyer? I'm afraid it's necessary. And once you have signed the covenant, I will show you to your room. Okay. But wait, what?
どうしました？
Is something the matter? Did you just say you're going to show me to my room?
言いました。
I did. Really? My room?
それ以外何があるのです？
What other room will I show you to? I mean, you could take me to Leon's room. I can see what's going on in there. You're talking about my room. You're talking about my room in my home down in town, right?
宮廷に用意させたあなたの部屋のことです。
I'm talking about the room that has been prepared for you here in the palace.
ベルに選ばれた方は、その役目を終えるまで王城に住んでいただきますから。
When all is said and done, do I get paid for this? Like, they become king. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I become queen. That's only if they fall in love with me, which they are going to no matter what. But in reality, I would just have to choose them and boom. So do I get paid for this? Like, y'all might just kick me out after this. The person chosen as Belle is required to live in the palace until such time as she has fulfilled her duties. Wait. Why'd you tell me this sooner? Why didn't I think of it myself? I've been dreaming of starring in my own fairy tale, but I've forgotten they always start with the heroine's life being turned upside down. But I can't just drop everything and live here for a whole month. What about my job at the bookstore?
すでにオーナーと連絡を取り、臨時の従業員を手配済みです。
The owner has already been contacted, and an interim replacement has already been hired. Whatever. Okay, well, what about all my things? I need to go home and pack my clothes and...
全部あなたの部屋に運ばせています。
Now, how the heck did you get into my room? Did you break my window? How did you break in? Your belongings have already been brought to the palace, And why do you know where I live? Your belongings have already been brought to the palace and put away in your room. You broke into my home? Never mind, of course you did. But, okay, fine. But what about Rio?
はい、こちらに。
Yes, over here. Cyril snapped his fingers again and I stared at him.
数時間ぶり会いたかったよ。
Snap your fingers one more time. Snap your fingers one more time, see what happens. Lauren, it's been hours. I miss you so much. Hours. What? Rio came hurrying into the throne room, and I stared. Not just at him, but at the clothes he was wearing. It's like you're playing at being a butler or something. Although the outfit is so good, you look like the real thing. Rio, what's with those clothes?
俺、晴れてここに就職が決まったんだ。
I've been lucky enough to get a job here. I mean, good for you. You were jobless for 2 days? Here? You mean at the palace?
ベルセードの福利厚生の一つです。王女はペット可なんですよ。
Consider it one of the perks of being Belle. You are permitted to keep a pet at the palace. A pet.
あなたのペットでしょこれ。
I mean, yeah, but this is your pet, is it not?
本屋に入った際ワンワンしつこく泣いてきたので仕方なく連れてきたのです。
When I entered the bookstore, it started barking nonstop, so I had no choice but to bring it with me.
いやー、君が急にベル候補に選ばれて、ちょっと取り乱しちゃったんだよね、俺。
I know. I kind of lost my head when I heard you were chosen to be Belle, Lauren.
サリエルさんが話のわかる人でよかったよ。
Reasonable, really. But I'm so relieved Cyril is such a reasonable, helpful person. I expected Cyril to have a comeback for that, and I was surprised by the silence that followed. He didn't look happy, that's for sure. Cyril, is it my imagination, or do you look a little wary all of a sudden?
そんなことはありませんよ。
Not in the slightest. Somebody tells me you can't handle Rio. I had never wished to have been a fly on the wall so badly in my life. Just how did you get the better of Cyril, Rio? But before, Rio must be able to annoy everybody. But before I could ask anything more, Cyril cleared his throat discreetly.
ちょうどいいので彼にはあなたの世話役をさせます。
It seemed appropriate to assign him to be your attendant.
ご主人様の命令にはしっかり従いなさい、犬。
Be sure to follow your mistress's order to the letter, dog.
はい。何があっても俺が守るから。安心してね。
Rio, you have no... Where's your pride at? You're happy being a dog? I will. Don't worry, Lauren. No matter what happens, I will be here to protect you. Thanks, Rio. And sorry for getting you caught up in this.
全然。むしろ、本当に君をご主人様って呼べる日が来るなんて。ああ、夢みたい。
Not at all. If anything, I can hardly believe I finally get to call you mistress for real. It's like a dream come true. Okay, stop right there. Do not call me that. But I'm actually really glad you're here. Being your usual goofy self, I feel a lot less alone all of a sudden.
さあ、ペットと遊ぶのは後にして、さっさと規約事項を読んでください。
Now, if you could save playing with your pet for later, I would like you to read through the clause of the covenant. I sighed and turned back to the giant pile of paperwork, but the language was dry, and the words all seemed to blur together. There's no way I can read this in one go. Even if I manage to stay awake somehow, I'll be here all night. I'm just going to have to trust that there is nothing awful in here, and read it over. Good girl, skim it. Skim it at least. How many papers was that? Skim it. Skim it. And read over it later when I've got time to focus on it. Because I know Cyril's getting over on you. I know he put something out of pocket in there. I just know it. I flipped quickly through the rest of the pages, barely even scanning them, and then reached for the quill waiting nearby. I signed my name where I'd been told, and Cyril reached out, his smile satisfied as he touched the page next to my signature.
ありがとうございます。これであなたは正式にベルとなりました。
Thank you very much. With this, you have now been formally appointed the position of Belle.
我が国の王子たちは一筋縄ではいかないくせ者揃いですが。
I'm afraid the princes of our kingdom are a strange lot, and not a single one of them is easy to deal with.
どうかあなたのその汚れなき御心で良き国王をお選びくださいね。
But please use the purity in your heart to choose a good king for us, won't you? I will. I'm going to do this right, no matter what it takes. I looked up, meeting Cyril's gaze. For the first time since I met him, his smile seemed genuine, and with no ulterior motive.
じゃあ早速だけど、俺たちの新しい愛の巣に行こっか。
Love nest. Okay then, Lauren. I know this is all a bit sudden, but why don't we go straight to our new love nest? I think you mean my room. Just mine, right? Barrio's grin and his light-hearted, teasing voice made me feel better, and I grinned back at him as I turned away from Cyril. I'm still really worried about what comes next, but I chose this, and whatever happens, I'm not going to regret that. I glanced back as we walked away, just in time to see the first petal break away from the rose and flutter to the bottom of the glass dome. I need to learn more about the princes, and more about Rhodolite itself, and then I'll be able to choose the best king. After Lauren and Rio had left the throne room,
これから忙しくなりそうですね。
things are going to get very busy from here on. Cyril turned away, glancing down at the Covenant, just as a gust of wind blew through the open door. Clause 99. Once the selection process is concluded, Belle's forbidden to have any further contact with the chosen king in any capacity. Golly. The pages shifted across the table, revealing the last page of the Covenant and the final clause at the bottom. But who could know then that those simple words would so cruelly twist the fate of all that was to come after? Wow, okay. And that's all of the prologue, y'all. I really like Ikemen Prince. I really like it. It's definitely the funniest. They've done some I heard Revolution. No. I think someone mentioned that some other Ikemen games were kind of funny. But this one has some has some comedy in it. It does. I like this a lot. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. It's always in the description below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.